Hello. Hello. Hello, Rondell Adventures. Hello, Hill Country Pepper. Welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing?
Hey girls, hey.
Hi, V. I was reading your email on the beach, V. I'm gonna copy the link right now. So, who wants to know where I am? Can you hear me? Do you want me to tell you where I am? I wasn't sure I was gonna go camp anywhere again right now, because I just really got back to my brother's, and I had been in the Midwest in Illinois for a month, and then I went to Palm Desert, so I hadn't been by my brother very much. But what happened was the electricity went out at the ranch again. The electricity went out in my RV. I took my car to the shop because my car had overheated. I was driving around a lot the other day, and I was trying to drive stream on the Adventures of Traveling Mike's live stream. It was fun. We've been having a lot of fun. I think a lot of people here who have been there will agree. We've been having a lot of fun on his 11-day long live stream on the Adventures of Traveling Mike. So that's been so fun. Hello, Michael's Adventures. Welcome, welcome. Paula, hi. How are you doing? So yeah, my car overheated. Though I was driving around. It was a nice day. I was driving around in my car, which is named Joy, with the top down. For those new to my channel, I'm like 100. No, I wrote down the days. Wait, let me get it. I'm like 100. Let me get it exactly so I can tell you. Because I'm doing the days, 188 days since I escaped from Georgia. Since I left Georgia, I sold my house in Georgia. I bought an RV. I went to Illinois. The guy here where I'm at. So where I'm at, I'm going to tell you. I actually flipped a coin because I was thinking of going north again to Carpinteria because I really love that beach. My family used to camp there when I was a kid, but I also wanted to come down towards San Diego. So I flipped a coin and it shows south, and I hadn't gone south in my RV yet. So I'm at Coronado, which is an island off San Diego. And I found it with the Park Advisor, this little app, on my phone. And I'm on the island of, can you see that? I'm on this island. So that's where I am. And I found it with this cool app that I saw on someone's channel. So, hi, Diane. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Charlie. Hi, Kim. Welcome. I'm in San Diego area at Coronado. It's an island off San Diego, off the coast of California. I came over a big bridge, and there's video on my Instagram. What are you eating for supper, V? I'm gonna invite you guys again. So that is where I am, and there's pictures on my Instagram. I will show out the window, but I don't know how good you can see. But there's video on my Instagram. And see, I got flowers. Yeah, I got flowers. I got everything. This was one of, I had so much stuff from my mom, you guys, that I did get rid of some of it. This was a vase that was my mother's. And so everything I own is now in my RV. So I had the space for these flowers I got today. And my sister gave this to my mom years ago. And actually at one time, my brother's ashes were in this vase. And then my dad put them in the garden. But anyways, that's another story. Yeah, what are you eating, V? Inquiring minds want to know. So what happened, why I ended up just coming to the beach, is electricity went out. Troy, come up here. Come up here, Troy. I need somebody to talk to. And you don't have to sing. So the reason I came here was, okay, my car overheated. My car was in the shop, and my car is kind of how I get around. I go to my brother's house or I go to the gym in the car and leave my RV at my brother's ranch. And so the car was in the shop. I needed to empty my black tank. And then the electricity went out again at the ranch. It just does that. It's an old house. And at first we thought it was my RV, and it wasn't ever my RV. It was it was my brother's house. And I got a bunch of people in the.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for coming up.
No worries, chickadee. So you're at the beach. I'm so jealous.
Yes, I'm at the beach.
Snowstorm yesterday. Hey, Troy.
Hi, Paula. It's good to see you.
Yeah, kinda.
It's good to kind of see you.
Good to see your icon and hear your voice.
Aw, thank you. Yeah, no, I was saying I'm super jealous. She's at the beach when we just got a snowstorm last night.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's
hey,
all good.
DJ. Oh, your bro's here too. Yeah, I sent something in your package. I sent a little something for your brother and Amy.
Oh, did you? You're such a
Yeah,
sweetheart.
just a little something. Just a little something. Aww. And it only cost about as much as it costs to send it.
Oh, really?
And I don't know. Tell me when you get it how long this is going to take. I don't know. I had to fill out this big long thing. And I was like, okay, Paula's worth it.
Aww,
I appreciate you.
Aww,
well, I appreciate you.
You're a good kid. I'll keep you around.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
I sound like my mom now.
I'm having so much fun with this YouTube community.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's been really fun. So I'll put the link to my Instagram if y'all want to go over there and look at more pictures.
What are the pictures of again?
Everything. I emptied my black tank. I took some pictures. It was a new thing, Troy. So have you ever seen one of these? You pay with your charge card. It was $10. And it unlocks it. You pay with your card. You've seen those? It was weird. It's the first time I've seen one of those.
I've never heard of that.
You swipe the card, you put your zip code in, and you're done.
No, I didn't have to put my zip code in, but I didn't even put in my PIN.
I didn't even put in my. They just take a card, and some of them required a zip code. Some of they were in the city, a little more high tech ones.
Yeah.
Even where clear up here in the woods, they have those now, with a little solar panel on them to keep them running, the whole 9 yards.
Wow.
Crazy. You know what? When I come to the States, stuff like that's a problem because I'll use my credit card to pay for gas, for example, and then it wants me to punch in my zip code. Well, I'm Canadian and my postal code doesn't work.
Yeah, it's weird. And I looked at that and I'm like, this is weird. I think that's her zip code though. And I asked them and they're like, yeah, that is. And I'm like, okay, that's what I thought.
I believe I have a solution for you on that, Paula.
Oh?
It may or may not work, but just grab a friend's address and purchase a prepaid credit card or debit card. You can actually get them from stores, banks, all kinds of stuff.
So could I use my own credit card and just punch in some random zip code?
No, you actually need to have one that's established probably with our banking in the US, but you could do a prepaid debit card where you load it with $100, $200 and just use it while you're here.
Oh.
They'll give you a PIN number and all that stuff.
Hey, Angie.
With American currency and
do you want to come up, Angie?
That's good to know,
Hi,
Troy.
Mike.
Thank you.
Thanks for showing support. So guess what I did? Did you see what I did on Mike, the Adventures of Traveling Mike yesterday, Paula?
No, what did you do?
Did you see what I did?
What?
I went live from my brother's pool, and then Dana and Troy and them made me go down, and Lance made me go down the slide. Went down the slide, and then I discovered my brother's slide is broke. I didn't tell my brother. I would be in big trouble. I would be so, oh my goodness. He's like my dad. I feel like starting to call him like, okay, dad. Okay, dad. Okay, dad. Leave me alone, dad.
Is he an older brother by chance?
He would be so, oh my goodness. I don't want my, oh yeah. I'm the youngest.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's 6. I'm 7. 6. Yeah. And we're the like, you know how they say like the black sheep of the family? We're like the white sheep of the family. Like, so like my older siblings, came up in the 60s and 70s and in California. And then my parents, I think they kind of maybe had a plan in mind. They took my brother and I when we were 15 and 12 and moved us across the country to Boca Raton, Florida. And we're kind of like the more conservative goodies of the family. And like we were, before I changed my leanings recently, I guess like about 4 years ago, but we're not talking about that. No, but we were like the white sheep of the family, or I don't know. We were the ones that were different than the rest of the family, and they were kind of wild and kind of wild. And my oldest brother died of heroin addiction actually in 2005. And so yeah. And so so we're both kind of like, we were both kind of similar, but now I'm more I don't know. I've changed recently, sort of.
Is it a change for the good?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. That's all that matters. Are you happy?
Yes, I'm very happy to be back in California. I am like so happy. It was so cool. It was neat. Bring my friend coming here with me. So when I flew back from Illinois, she came with me. Mm-hmm. And it was weird because her flight got canceled. I was trying to find her flight because she made her reservation first. I was trying to find her flight to get on her flight, and I couldn't find it. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna pick one that's like about leaving the same time and arriving the same time. And I did that. And then it ended up, her flight got canceled and they just put her on my flight. And I was like, wow.
Whoa.
That's example of like, you're like stressing. Like I tend to stress out sometimes over things and go, oh my God, what are we going to do? And it's just like, And
then it works out.
And it just worked out and I didn't need to stress over it at all. Hi, Bree. Thank you for coming in.
I just realized
Appreciate it.
I have not
What?
had chat on my TV, so I'm going back to read it all. Ron Darrell. V. Pepper, Michael's Adventures.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you a I don't think I have any mods here at all.
I am.
Yeah. Thank you. I
Should I be
appreciate you.
watching? I
Huh?
can watch. You want me to watch for bad
Well, Bree
guys?
told me a while ago I could make her a moderator, and I didn't get around to it yet because I'm just like, you know, you know me, I'm just like all over the place. And I was like, oh wait, what am I supposed to do now? Wait, let me think. I remember now. Bree said she'd be a moderator. I appreciate you. Thank you. She actually emailed me. So
Nice.
So your brother's trying to see if we can go eat inside Red Robin. Oh, Red Robin's where
all the indoors closing now.
Oh.
Yeah, our numbers
again?
That new variant is getting bad. Like I'm not even supposed to go in out the way where my mom lives.
Oh no. That's bad. Yeah, they just reopened again and out here in California.
Well, that's good.
They just reopened a little bit and yeah. But it's different in different counties and stuff. So when we were hiking, and I've done this before when we were hiking, like they want you to wear the mask. And it gets kind of like it gets kind of annoying, like when you're hiking and you're exerting yourself, you know, it gets annoying at the gym too. They want you to keep it on.
Oh.
So on the hikes, what we do is, you know how you put it down under your chin, and then when somebody walks by, like we would walk over to the side and let people by us if, you know, they were coming up fast on us, and then we'd put our mask on when they go by, and then put it back down when we're hiking. Because we hiked in Joshua Tree National Park when we were in Palm Desert, and this place called Taquez Falls. It's really pretty. I put that video on my YouTube. It's really really pretty. That was on St. Patrick's Day. Yeah.
Nice. How come you don't have a sunburn if you're at the beach?
I do actually have a sunburn. But I am not as white. I'm pretty white though. As you can see when I'm going down the slide, my legs match the slide. The slide's white, but I've lived my whole life in, like, you know, Southern California, and then Boca Raton, Florida, and then Georgia. So I'm not as white as some redheads are. But I did get sunburn because it was hurting. I did get sunburn a little bit from driving around with the top down. But I just got to the beach, so I just got here.
Well, you need to enjoy the beach for all of us.
Please.
It's good therapy for me. It's good therapy for me. I will enjoy the beach for all of you. But you should come. You should come see us. What?
Can I ask about the car? Is it in the shop right now?
The car is in the shop. Yeah, my brother made me take it. He made me. The light went off though.
Is that going to end up being towed?
Huh?
I'm sorry. Is that going to end up being towed behind the motorhome eventually?
No. I would get a bike. I don't want to tow it.
Okay.
No. I didn't even plan on getting a car. I was going to get a bike. But you know, well, you know the story. I'll recap because someone new said they were glad I recapped. I will recap. So, 2019 is when I stopped doing Airbnb in Georgia, and I got the smaller house. My ex we had two houses, and we had rented out the smaller house. He built a bigger house for we raised the five kids in the bigger house. Mostly they were all little when we moved into the bigger house. And so 2019 I started the plan. I had rats in my house. I told Troy it was so hard to subscribe to his channel with those rats on his house. Like, okay, I'm gonna subscribe. Okay. But and the rats sort of pushed me forward, and I had a plan to downsize. I wanted to leave Georgia, and my younger son had moved to Denver. And so the plan formulated. I had a lot of stuff. I had like 2,000 books. I started watching downsizing videos, like minimalist TED Talks, and like I got rid of over 1,000 items. I got rid of probably 2,000 items. I made $3,700. I sold stuff on Facebook. I gave stuff away. I mailed stuff to people. Everything. I donated it. I threw stuff away, and it took me 9 months. So I sold my house in August 2020. And then for 3 weeks, I had more stuff to sort through, like little stuff like papers and pictures. And I left stuff in storage for my kids in Georgia. I left Georgia on the first day of fall 2020. And it was 180, what did I say? 188 days ago. And then I decided to just buy my RV in Illinois by my friend. The guy here, when he's like, "You're a long way from home." And I'm like, "No, I'm not really." Because San Diego is the place I wanted to relocate to. My favorite band, this is a Switchfoot thing. They're located here, and I went to the Switchfoot getaway last time I was out in California in 2018. Here in San Diego, but I had already been here a couple of times, and I really like San Diego better than LA. I might buy a tiny house here one day. But so anyways, I left the first day of fall and went to Illinois, bought my RV on my birthday. It ended up accidentally being my birthday when we got all the finances situated. And I had debt. I had no money. And then the house was paid off, and it was in my name. I sold it, got the money, paid off my debts, paid cash for the RV, and then I was so excited about my RV in November that I fell and broke my kneecap when it was the day I got my registration.
Oh.
And yeah, I fell and broke my kneecap because I was gonna try to be to my son's by Halloween. I kept texting him and being like, I had originally wanted to be I wanted to be to Gladys. It ended up my friend Gladys. It was her birthday that I sold my house on. August 28th is her birthday. And then my son's birthday was in September, and I wanted to be to his. I had unrealistic plans. I wanted to be to him in my RV by his birthday, which was in September, but I was still in Illinois, and I was still in Georgia actually then. But anyways, it all worked out, and I was to my son's for Thanksgiving. Then I went to my niece's right before. I was to my brother's on December 10th for the holidays, and I had a month with my sister-in-law and took care of her. I took her to a few treatments too, and I cooked for her and took care of her. But she passed away on the 9th of January. And my brother gave me her car. And I named her Joy because my my sister-in-law's name was Joyce, and she was just an awesome person. And she was just very positive. She lived with the cancer for 30 years. I mean, she was in and out of remission, and she just had such an awesome attitude about it. And so I sold my car in November, and then like 2 months later, I was given a car. So that was pretty cool. A sad way to get a car, but I think of her all the time. She has so much stuff in that car. It's ridiculous. And I was like, okay, I need the little thing, the thing that goes in the lighter. I was like, okay, come on, Joyce. Like, she has like beach hats, shoes, and we wear the same size shoe in the thing, and in the car. And so I was like I was driving around, I was about to buy one of those things for the lighter. And I was like, she has everything in the kitchen sink in here. There's like 3 umbrellas. I'm like, and I found it. And I always say, like, thank you, Joyce. So, but
it's amazing the good memories that they leave with us, isn't it? Just amazing.
yeah, it's just kind of cool. And I told this story before, but it's a good story, so I'm going to tell it again. So the car is a Toyota Solera, and she had a new one. And so we used to call her like the Energizer Bunny, because she just keeps going and going and going. And then we also used to say she has 9 lives. Like, my brother installed a fan and it fell, like just missed her. And then she was driving her newer Toyota Solera. She flipped 3 times, landed on her tires with the top down. Just walked away. She was fine.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was insane. So that's why we said, like, like, if it's not your time to go, it's not your time to go. It's just not. It's not your time to go. 3 times. Like, everybody, like my nephew was in Korea, I think, then, because he was military. He's in the army. And my brother, she's like, yeah, my dad called me. I was like, well, she's okay. The car was like, you should see pictures of the car. It was totaled. So they got this red one that, like, and her sister told the story on the on the Zoom memorial, but she actually got it wrong, because the first one wasn't red. The second one was red. And I remember being so jealous when she got the red one. It was an older one, though. It wasn't that expensive. It's a 2006, but it's a convertible, same car, convertible Toyota Solera. And so the funny thing is that, so when I came, I was driving her around and stuff in her car, and they let me, I was using it still. I was driving it to my RV. I was sleeping in my RV, and not at the house. I go to the house during the day, and then especially, try to be there earlier when my brother was at work and stuff, because she just needed someone with her. She had gone in the hospital before, like right after Thanksgiving. And they didn't tell me until I got there. They didn't tell me that she had respiratory failure, and her friend was there, and her friend was like, and she was getting upset. She didn't want her to call, but she called the ambulance, and she needed to, because she was in respiratory failure, and her friend called the ambulance, and she went in the hospital right before I had got there. So she needed someone with her all the time. And so I was taking her in the car, and I'm driving. I had messed up my bumper. Like, my second day out in my RV, I clipped it on the pole at the gas station. So I'm driving like a grandma, and now I'm driving someone else's car. So, and she was getting onto me. She was like, if you stop at the yellow light, like, someone's going to rear end you. Stop, And so it's about the, like, my third day there, or 5th day there, or whatever. And I turned to her, kind of jokingly say, well, better fasten your seatbelt in case I flip this thing. And she turns to me and she's like, "You couldn't flip this car one time."
You
Like,
didn't
that
try
was
to,
such
did
an
you?
no.
Good.
Like, that was an accomplishment. Like, you drive like such a granny, you can't flip this car one time. And I still laugh at that story. So
Yikes.
that's my hey James. Now I'm missing people here. Hey Bill, Shabna, hi James. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate you.
We also have Kim a little further up that wanted to know how to share the
Dana?
stream out. I was watching chat, but I didn't want to interrupt either one of you.
Well, you go on that share thing, yeah, and I didn't share my own. I share I've been sharing traveling mics on my Twitter and on my and I didn't even share this one yet, but I will. Aaron, hi Aaron. Yeah, I even like everybody in this community is so helpful. Oh, and I was at the Walmart today, Paula, and I wasn't I was on my phone, so I was like, I need to find a place to empty my black tank. I was like, where's Lance? I need him to Google this. And camping therapy, Doreen found me a place. I think I actually did try going to that place before, though. She found me a place to go to, but then I decided to just go camp somewhere where I could just empty it because, my brother's working the next 2 days and he works those long shifts. So, and I don't have a car. So, my brother's like big house is like on a hill. It's not really any place where like I can park my RV, you know? So, and he's like on a hill. And so I usually just take my RV to the ranch and then drive the car over there. But since I don't have a car, I can't do that. So, hey Ray.
Hi, Ray.
Thanks for coming in.
No, there's Ray.
Okay, have you shared your own stream out yet?
I'm going to. Thanks for reminding me, Paula.
I shared it before you did.
I'm so scatterbrained.
We've got professionals sitting beside you. Paula will take care of you. Thank you. I've got this light in my.
I'm so scatterbrained.
That's so annoying. Now I'm really in the dark.
Well, it's working good. I'm glad because I'm at the beach and I'm off. I'm on my hotspot on my phone.
And whatever your mic
so
is
yeah,
doing.
I'm glad.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm glad I put that. I put, oh, where's Red now? And I'm like, I'm just gonna be at the ranch, and that's what I really thought. I was like, I'm just gonna be at the ranch, but I'll just say this, because before I was in the Alabama Hills, and before that I was in Palm Desert, and before that I was in Illinois. Where is she now? Oh, I'm still at the ranch, but I didn't know I was gonna be here, so I'm at the beach.
Awesome.
You never know where I'm gonna be.
It's funny.
That's the beauty of a home on wheels.
Your journey right now is where I'm headed.
Yes.
The house is going to sell soon. I have to decide what kind of RV I really want to be in. Do I want to fix up the fixer-uppers I got? I don't think so. I'd rather just go out and buy one that's a year or two old. That way, a lot of the maintenance has been done to it. The recalls have been done. Hopefully, if they were good owners, find out what's been done to it. Pick a nice one. Get a nice truck with low miles. I'm scheming. I want a toy hauler. I want to put a little minivan inside of it. They make these micro vans that are 4-wheel drive. They're foreign.
Really?
They're right-hand drive. Yeah, they're no bigger than a Suzuki Samurai.
Like you have like 3 RVs. How's the downsizing going, Troy? How's the downsizing going?
I would dump them all dirt cheap and quick when this happens. If I, and I've got my sister's property for another year after mine sells. She told me she would hang on to it to let me finish liquidating my stuff and have a place to put it without paying storage. you know, at that rate till I figure out what I'm
Yeah,
going
siblings are awesome. I'm glad I had my brother because,
to.
you know, at first I was like, "Oh, I don't need to park at the ranch." But I was like, "Oh,
No,
I might." But it ends up it's like
I'll tell you how
it's
awesome
on and off
siblings
again.
are. This was actually my house I gave to her, so I was unable to own two homes going on to disability. So at that point, I kept my home and I just said, "Have a house, sister." And she's told me that she would let me use it until I don't need it. And I told her about another year. So
Hmm.
she can do
Wow.
whatever she wants with it. It's hers.
Mm,
But this was supposed to be my
yeah.
retirement. And then I was lucky enough to actually earn and save enough money to buy the other home also. So I figured she's worked hard all her life, but she's always been a renter. And I wanted to give her a leg up to help
Mhm.
establish herself because she's in her 40s
Yeah.
and she's owned a home. So it's about time, you know. She's always been responsible,
Hmm.
always paid the bills, but she's never taken the jump.
Yeah. I
Give me a second,
was a
guys.
stay-at-home mom, and my ex wanted me to stay home with the kids, and
Hmm?
he's an engineer, so and then at the end he wanted me to get a job, but I felt like it was just something for him to say that I did something wrong, like she won't get a job, and I was trying to get a job, but I couldn't find one, so I started doing Airbnb, and I did that for 2 years. It was interesting and fun. And I'm gonna write about that actually. Um,
Have
Sorry
you
about that.
written books?
what?
Have you written books?
I have, yeah, I have a book of poetry that's out, called The Seven Story Tree. It's
Okay.
on Amazon, and I published it with Amazon self-publishing, and it was free. It was really easy. And then I did my second book about the elephant in the room as a children's book, and then I got those publishers that kind of ripped me off and kind of hijacked the whole thing.
Oh
And
no.
so yeah, so that was really so that's been really upsetting. I was going to share a poem too, because I'm working on, I've nearly completed another book of poems, which is called it's had a lot of different names. It's called Red, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Red Poems. And so my story is I was in the uh, Baptist church. I was raised Presbyterian, but I thought the solution, my parents were Christian but not really really conservative, and I thought that they weren't conservative enough, so I went really really, and then we moved to Georgia, so it kind of, I went really super conservative. I was very very, I got Jesus. I got Jesus tattooed on my hand. um so I was very, so my first book of poems, they're very Christian. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
Bible in them, but there's also a lot of song lyrics, and it's a lot about a lot of subjects that I have dealt with, um, like emotional abuse and um, addictions. Uh,
No, you
it's
don't.
just
No.
a lot of stuff. Bipolar. I'm a little bipolar.
A little.
Gee, surprise, surprise. Oh my gosh, she's crazy.
No, you know what? We all have something. We do.
It runs in my family, the bipolar and depression. So there's stuff about that in the book too. But hey Bernie, welcome. Welcome. Chatterboxes. I need to let you guys talk.
Oh no, it's fine. I just find it really hard to imagine you as super conservative.
I promise you I was.
But do you see where I'm coming
Yeah.
from? Like you just
Yeah, I know. That's why it's so fun for me to be bad now.
So when did
That's
you
why I
start
get so
changing?
carried away. Huh?
What was part of the change?
It was 2019. And so my kids were very upset, and my ex kind of made them. You heard of parental alienation?
Mm-hmm.
They were grown. It's done with a lot of times with kids that are younger, and dealing with custody and all that. But I kind of feel like he influenced them some, and it's getting better though. Um, when I was sorting out the stuff in Georgia, that's what was so heartbreaking. Is I was like 2 minutes from my daughter's house, my oldest daughter. She's 34 now, and 2 minutes from my ex's house where my oldest son was living, and I didn't want to tell them. And I didn't know if they were gonna. I didn't know if my daughter was even gonna get the stuff out of the storage, and that was hard. It was hard to be like, well, I decided that I was just gonna pay on the storage, and then I'll come back and sort it out again, because like I had photographs, like family heirloom things, stuff like I wasn't sure if they wanted, but they might want, and it was a hard time. And so
Mm-hmm.
it was around the time, um it was a gradual thing, but then it happened all at once in 2019, where I decided just like, and then I realized that there's a group of people. They're called ex evangelicals, and because they just, um, it's just that some of the things in the church are very negative, and some of them are very negative towards, you know, I don't want to. It's hard to not like say. I don't want to say stuff that's too controversial, um, but yeah, there's a group, ex-evangelicals. They have a podcast. The guy's name is Blake Chastain. And then there's a channel called, God is Gray, and she was very helpful. And on her channel, I saw, she's got a YouTube channel. Her name is Brenda Davis, and she's in LA too. Maybe one day she'd have me on her show. That would be cool. Um, So she had on her show a girl named Jamie. Oh goodness, what's her name? She has a book called. I need to look on Twitter for a minute. Jamie Lee Finch. Jamie Lee Finch. She has a book called "You Are Your Own," and just the stuff in there. Yeah, it was very conservative. And then like for 5.5 years after my divorce, I was mostly celibate. And then I got date raped the first time I go on a date, and I blamed myself. And then when I was doing Airbnb, I met a guy that he was just perfect. He was a lot younger than me, but he was a medical student, and I didn't really think it could be anything serious, but I gave up my celibacy. Finally, that was a choice. I gave up being celibate for him, but then it turned out he only wanted a green card. And so I had a
That
lot of
sucks.
things. Yeah, I had a lot of things, that a lot of heartbreak even after, so I was very young when I met my husband, and I had only been with him, so I called him thing one, thing two, and thing three. Like I'd only
Oh,
been, my polish is off, so I have to use this hand. Thing one, thing two, and thing three. So yeah. So and then so in 2019, thankfully, before I found out about the rats, I didn't know the rats were under the house. I heard something under the house, but I didn't know what it was. I heard something, and they hadn't gotten like in the house. They were just under. My house was on a crawl space, and I used to get so upset when I get a bad review, like that the house was dirty or something. But thankfully, I stopped doing Airbnb before somebody discovered this Airbnb has rats. It was
Yeah,
insane, the timing of it.
rodents in a house can be devastating. I know we have them as pets, but we got them as babies. They're used to the charmed
Hmm.
life. They're clean. We keep their cage clean. They're respectful enough not to poop ever if we take them out and handle them. And but a wild rodent, totally different thing. It is. It's like night and day. These are no less of pets than the dogs are. They're intelligent. They learn tricks, know their names. Wild animals don't learn their names. They don't do tricks for food. They chew holes in walls.
Yeah.
Ours don't do that. So, it's hard to get past that with some people because they don't understand the difference between a pet and the wild animal. So I get it. And
Yeah.
raccoons, mice, squirrels, all those get in homes. All those things are just as, in fact, more devastating in
We
some
had a
cases.
raccoon problem at the big house. Yeah, at the big house, they would eat all the cats' food because I had 13 cats. I never had a rat problem because I had cat. I always had cats.
Yeah.
Hey Tracy. Hey Karen. Welcome, welcome. Thanks
We,
for
we
coming
used to
in.
we used to take the rats in the master
Hey
bathroom and let
Zach.
them loose and stuff a towel by the door. And one day I pulled the drawers out and realized underneath the cabinet there's a hollow spot where they could get up in the cupboard, and then there's holes by the pipes going underneath the house where they could go underneath the house there. So we had them in there 3 or 4 times before we realized they could have gotten loose and underneath the house because we weren't being good parents. Because we'd put them in there when we clean their cage in the bathroom. We'd clean the cage and we go clean the bathroom, after they were done in there and clean, clean the tub and do the thing, it's just the cycle. And so it's scary, that we could have let our babies loose in the house accidentally because we thought we were being very careful.
Hmm. Yeah, so that was kind of how the progression worked with my leaving the church, and uh, I also suffered what's called spiritual abuse in the church. So that's a long story too that might be in one of my books, but they didn't treat me very good there. I was
Oh,
going to a recovery group actually because of things I went through and things in my family. And I used to not even drink at all, Paula. Uh, Nothing. I didn't drink at all. I was also sober. um, and So it was a gradual thing. But then in 2019 is when I decided just to, I was very, very depressed. And
Mm-hmm.
thankfully, my friend moved in temporarily. My friend that's in Illinois now. She was moving from Georgia, and the Air Force was sending her to. They were going to send her to Germany, but I'm thankful that they didn't, because otherwise I wouldn't have had like a place to go where I could, find my RV, a place to go to just like chill. And then also, my father is 92, was 92, and he wasn't doing well, and he passed away like the night
Oh,
before I left. Yeah, passed away, and now there's only um, of the 9 of us, the 7 kids, and my mom and dad. There's only me, my brother, and my sister left. Is all. So and so that was another thing that happened, and yeah, and I had
it
been
sounds like
just out.
it sounds like 2019 was a life-changing year for you all around.
Yes, everybody talks about 2020, how bad like 2020 was for a lot of people, but it was really good for me. It
Yep.
was awesome because and when I had the plan already when the pandemic hit, and I started to get depressed again because I was like I didn't know if I could do it. And I started to get depressed again, and then I was like, well, I'm just gonna try. I was selling my stuff and I was watching my friend's dog, and he's a pit bull. Um, and and then we couldn't. In March, we were gonna take him to her, and then we couldn't, because of the pandemic. We couldn't get him to her until, and it was sort of funny because I'm my age. I'm 54, and Gladys is 35. And her dad's like my age, and it was sort of funny because we were talking about who was going to bring her the dog, and she was like, not thinking about it, she's like, well, my dad, he's old. And I'm like, and at first I was like, yeah, your dad is old. Yeah, your dad is old. And I'm like, wait a second, we're the same age. Like my dad can't get sick. He's old. I'm like, Gladys, shut up. So
maybe he
funny.
just acts old.
He's doing the dad thing. Yeah. He has to take care of her dog when she can't take a pit bull overseas. Well, I think a lot of them in the military can't take their dogs at all. I don't know. But especially because he's a pit bull, she can't take him. And he would watch the dog when she goes overseas with the military. But anyways, and now I'm like the doggy sitter now. And it's like her child because she doesn't have any kids, and so she's really particular about him. So Auntie Red is here, and Gladys is going to Alaska in August, and I'm going to see my. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. Thank you, Kim. That's in that movie Nomadland, that when people start out on this journey, they have those losses beforehand, and that's kind of the way my story goes too.
I think it's time to focus on everything that's turned around now. So many things that you can appreciate that a lot of us wouldn't even understand.
I'm so happy to be back in California. I always loved visiting out here, and I went through a lot of different places that I could move to. Like first I was thinking Tennessee, like Nashville area, but I really love the water, and it's like I want to be near the water. And then I thought of going back to Florida. I have a friend that lives in like Pace by it's kind of in the Panhandle, Pensacola, near Pensacola. She's like, come move here. She's like one of the first ones that started. I met her on a missions trip to Mexico. I used to go on missions trips to Mexico with the Newsboys, and I used to make them my red velvet cupcakes too at some of their concerts. Like, so they'd know Red was there because the red velvet cupcakes.
Aww.
And so I went on a couple missions trips with Newsboys to Mexico, and we'd leave out of San Diego. So I went on 2 of those, and so been coming back down here. And I hadn't been to San Diego since I was a little kid, so I didn't remember a lot about it. And I was like, I like it here. So
what's the best?
So my friend I met in Mexico. Oh gosh, everything. Just the freedom of it. Because I was financially strapped too. That was another thing that was just why I was so depressed. My kids were my whole life.
Yeah.
I wasn't talking to my kids. I got to the point where I was suicidal. I did a video on that over Thanksgiving when I was in Denver. I did a short video about that because I got to the point where I was suicidal, and it scared me, and I got help. Because I was starting to make a plan. I was like, I can't live like this.
Yeah.
I can't live like this. And that too was when I decided to. I tried. It was really crazy, but it really wasn't me. But I tried. I started. That's when I stopped being celibate.
Yeah.
And it kind of helped me out of the. I started acting like a man. No, not to be negative. Not Troy. I'm sure Troy's not like this. But anyways, I got on Plenty of Fish, and I just was, but I realized that like that wasn't me. It was totally weird and foreign thing for me to do. And then I'd
It's
be
kind
like,
of acting out your teen years that you never got to
yeah,
experience.
yeah. And I was acting out because of the date rape and because of Mohammed, the green card guy. And I was just like, I would meet guys. And the funny thing is like, a couple of those guys are still following me on like Instagram, and I'm still in touch with one of them. I'm still in touch with a couple of guys in Georgia, and they'd be like, "Can I keep you forever?" And I'd be like, "No," or can I have you all to myself? And I'd be like, "No," and then like I'd like block them, and I'd be like, "Next," and it was just totally weird. It brought me out of the depression. And funny thing is like, but because I'm usually a very, I was a very conservative person. I really was. I know it's hard to believe, but I really was. I had long hair, um, uh, my hair got shorter and shorter because when I split up with my ex doesn't like my hair short. He also doesn't like it any other color. I was going to be Sarah Palin for Halloween when Sarah Palin was, that's how conservative I was. I dressed up as Sarah Palin. And my ex wouldn't let me dye my hair brown. He's like, no, just no.
I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think maybe some of your sexual freedom gave you a sense of power and control that you never had before.
Exactly. And but I was really, it was funny because and it was crazy because at the end of the month, and I hadn't been hearing from my youngest. My youngest was that was 2019. She was 18 then. My youngest was 18. A funny story about my youngest is, so I was saying I was looking for a job at all these places. One of the places was the Chick-fil-A. Remember we were talking about the Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
The Chick-fil-A. Okay. So we were both applying to open, open, where you apply at Chick-fil-A. And we didn't know it. So guess who got the job? She got the job, and they did not hire me. Because they just changed their policy, but they don't like tattoos. And this one's on, but they're a Christian. I'm trying to show my Jesus tattoo. That one's on my hand, so it's hard to cover up. But yeah, they hired her and they didn't hire me. And also, my green card guy was at my house for a month, and we would go to the Chick-fil-A all the time. And it was around the same time. It was funny. He loved Chick-fil-A because Saudi Arabia would get all the restaurants that they wanted, as long as they didn't serve pork or whatever. But they don't have a Chick-fil-A, and he loved Chick-fil-A. Oh. It was funny. And that's the one she ended up working at, was the Chick-fil-A right by me. And but at the end of a month, I was very promiscuous and acting out. And at the end of the month, I was in the car with one of my guy friends, and my youngest texted me, and she never texted me. It was a Sunday, and she was like, "Do you want to go eat?" And I turned to him and I was like, "You must be good luck. My daughter just texted me." And I was like, "Yes." And so that was when I ended it. That's when I called it my tramp page. Because the girl on Brenda Davies went through the same thing. The God is Gray girl that I was talking about, only she was much younger. She went through a divorce, and she was with, it was like the same situation. She was like waiting, like, because I was waiting for my husband, and we got married at 19, and I hadn't been with anybody else, and she did that, but then like her husband cheated on her, and then they got divorced before they had any kids or anything, and then she did her tramp page. But anyway, so that's when I ended my tramp page. And the funny thing was about that guy too, I just would block them, and I was just like, sorry. I felt kind of bad, but I would just block them. And then I got a new phone. I got paranoid about that Mohammed did something with my phone, or
Okay.
got something on my phone. So I went to AT&T and I got a new phone, because I sent an email to someone, and then I was like, I didn't even think I had, like, how did that happen? And it just sort of freaked me out. I was kind of paranoid about him afterwards. I was like, this man lived in my house for a month. Oh my gosh. And he was fake, I just freaked out. And so this was one of those things. And I was like, well, it's going to be worth it just for my peace of mind for me to get a new phone. So I got a new phone and I had to change my password. And so I couldn't right away get it all transferred over. So the people that were blocked were unblocked. So I get this message. And I was like, hello? I'm like, who is? He's like, I'm like, he's like, it's been over a month. How are you? I was like, who is this? It was one of my guys, and I was just like, oh, okay, sorry, because he was not blocked, because I hadn't had my stuff, everything that was blocked, transferred over, and I was just like, sorry.
I have another question for you.
What?
So you had mentioned about the whole bipolar and stuff. Was there any connection between a manic phase and that sexual free phase?
That's what my doctor was saying. Yeah. But I don't think so. She was wondering about that, but yeah, I don't think so, because I had been, and I do have problems more with the manic, but
Yeah.
I had never done that. So my bipolar is kind of like my dad's, and thankfully, and I've never been. It made him always be in denial about it at all, but I've never been hospitalized for it, or and I have more.
I've got to let the dogs out, but I'll be listening. I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, that is a thing that happens with mania.
The whole
Is you can.
sexual
Mm-hmm.
promiscuity and
Yeah.
spending, and there's a lot of things like that that are a risk in the manic
Yeah.
phase. So are you like, do you have
And
medication
buying a lot
that
of
helps you
stuff,
now?
and I'm on a little tiny bit of medication, but I found out a lot of oh, okay, Kevin just went live. Okay, I'm gonna be done here in a minute. Thanks for telling me that, Kim. Hello, Belle. How are you? So yeah, I'm on a tiny bit of medication. So I don't have health insurance anymore. But anyways, it's been pretty good. It's been okay, because I just usually do self-pay, and then I went to the doctors when I was in Illinois. And I'm going to be changing my I'm going to be celebrating in June, because I have to register the car, so I'm going to get my California driver's license and all that. I'm going to have to find a doctor, and because I do have some issues. I have a thyroid issue too. I have the bipolar, but I'm on a small amount. I'm on like the mood stabilizer.
Good.
And so my sister-in-law was also bipolar, and so anyways, that's another thing that's been helpful.
I think everyone needs to do what they got to do to keep themselves healthy and happy.
Yeah, I didn't have to. I'm not on an antidepressant at the moment. I tried, because when I was so depressed about my kids and about my divorce, I went to my doctor, because I still had a psychiatrist. I was still on my ex's, health insurance. I still had health insurance. When I went to the doctor there and explained to her the situation, she said, that's not bipolar depression, that's a situational depression.
Yeah.
So
So it sounds like just more the manic phase, and you seem to have an awareness of it, and that's awesome. Now you're ready to move forward, and you're already doing it.
Yep. I'm having fun. I'm ready to get things situated with my writing, and I got that book with the Red Book of Poems almost completed. I just have to find a publisher. And I'm gonna write about Red's Airbnb because of all I went through with that, and interesting stories and interesting people. It was really neat. And then I figure like the sequel to Red's Airbnb will be Red's RV.
Oh, perfect.
Just go on and on and on and on. Red will be in the title.
Awesome.
somewhere. So yeah, but yeah, let's go over and raid. Can someone drop the link to Kevin's then? Let's go over and raid that and see what's up. Can someone else? I tried to do a raid last time I went live and I didn't do it right at all. So I want one of my mods to drop that link. Can you do that for me, please? Or I will.
I'll catch you later. Thanks for sharing, Red.
Okay, you're welcome.
Bye.
Thanks for coming up. Appreciate you.
Now wait a minute. When you hit end stream the first time, it will end the broadcast, and then you can sit and talk with somebody afterwards with nobody there. Are you using StreamYard?
Oh, I've never done that before.
Yeah. End the stream, but don't end the broadcast.
Yeah, but we're gonna raid the Nomoc Experience.
He is on then. I looked for something and I couldn't find anything.
Kevin of the Nomoc Experience?
Yes, I was in his channel earlier and I didn't see anything up for a live stream.
Did that go right?
So the live counter in front of you will stop counting when you actually hit the end stream button.
Thanks, Karen. Yes, writing is a helpful outlet.
You rocked it. You had a lot of people in here.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming. I was thinking about having you up because I was like, we can talk about rats. We can talk about rats forever.
I'm glad you hit the button on my channel because it's, it's Christian's pets because he's younger.
Kenneth here. Yeah, I'm still alive.
There's Ford Man. He's in here too.
And Johnny's Journey. Okay, so now I don't know who to raid, but is Nomoc live yet or live reveal? He's live now. Yes. Okay. We are going to raid Kevin. We are going to raid Kevin. Do y'all hear me? Let's raid the Nomoc Experience. Say you came from Reds. I got to do this right this time. I will. Did I share that link right? Troy, did I share that link right?
Check it.
Kenneth, did I make you a mod yet? Dang it, I'm so behind on these things.
It looks like you did. It doesn't, on my phone, it doesn't light up correctly. I have to go back into your stream and actually see the chat.
And I am here on the Adventures of Traveling Mike and not on my own. Okay, wait a second. I'm still going to be live because I want you guys to go over there, okay?
Yes.
And I'm at Coronado. Okay, let's see.
Go back.
Okay, yeah, I do have Kevin as a mod because I didn't ever see if he was blue or not.
It looks like you did that right to take people to his channel. So.
Okay.
On the, my hands.
The link is perfect. Yay. Okay. Alrighty.
There's differences between running a phone and running a computer or running a Fire Stick. And my hands are tied right now because you really need a computer to do everything you need to do. You can do most of what you want to do from a phone, And you can do a lot of cool surfing from the Fire Stick on the TV, like watch chat, channel surf, join channels, give thumbs up. That's about it from the TV. From the phone, you have a lot more going on. And then from the
Okay.
computer, you pretty much can do anything. But the
And
search is sometimes.
we're gonna go over to Kevin's, and then you can go to Johnny's too if you want after that. But we're gonna go. So thanks for coming up, Troy. Thank you everybody for being here. Love you. Bye.